Comparing and ordering decimals. When will I ever do that? Do you ever go out to eat? A lot of people use food or shopping as a good way to understand decimals. Here I have a McDonald's menu. Da 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 da. I'm loving it. You can see we have on the menu a double cheeseburger, a Big Mac value meal, chicken McNuggets, a small drink, a McFlurry, a salad, 2 cheeseburgers, or a small ice cream cone. They're all written in decimals, decimal form. Here I have the menu again in order from least to most expensive. You can see that the ice cream cone costs the least and the chicken salad costs the most. When you're looking at them in order from least to most expensive, what do you notice? Do you see that the ice cream cone costs less than 1 whole and the chicken salad costs almost 5 wholes? What do I mean compare decimals? When we compare, we use terms such as greater than, which looks like this symbol. We use greater than, which looks like this symbol, or equal to, and you should recognize the equal sign. Comparing decimals is similar to comparing whole numbers. 45 is less than 47. 150 is greater than 105. When we compare decimals, we use place value or a number line. Here I have a place value and written out with the word and the decimal or whole number. You can see that we have the decimal, which is right there. Everything to the left of the decimal is a whole number. Everything to the right of the decimal is a piece or a part of a whole. You guys all know that to the right of the decimal, it goes ones place, tens place, hundreds place, and thousands place. To the right of the decimal, it's almost the same except we skip the ones and go right to the tenths, the hundredths, the thousandths, and the 100,000ths. Here I have some half-pipe results of students who were snowboarding. You can compare Sarah's score with Danny's score. You need to line up the decimal points. Sarah received 42 1/10. Danny received 42 5/10. Which is a higher number? If you think of it as money, 42 1/10 is like $42.10. Danny would receive $42.05 or $42.50. So looking at this, Danny's score would be higher if we're comparing high to low. Start at the left and find the first place where the digits differ. The 42 is the same, but it's the number after the decimal which explains it. 1 is less than 5, so 42 1/10 is less than 42 5/10. This means that Sarah's score was lower than Danny's. Look at the results of Sarah, Danny, Ross, Bethany, and Jacob. And in your composition journal, write these numbers down in order from smallest to largest. Write down the student's name and their score. We will check back in a little bit. You could also use a number line when comparing decimals. Again, I have Sarah, Danny, Ross, Bethany, and Jacob's score. Numbers to the right are greater than numbers to the left. We know that by looking at a number line. Since 42.5 is to the right of 42.1, we have 42 5/10, which is greater than 40 1/10. I'd also like you to write Sarah, Danny, Ross, Bethany, and Jacob's scores down in your composition journal. Again, smallest to greatest, but place them on a number line. We'll check back in a moment. Equivalent decimals. Equivalent decimals are decimals that name the same number. They're equivalent. Here I have 6/10 and 6/10. Do they look the same to you? What would be the difference? If you said the difference is 0, you're correct. But 0 doesn't have any value, so it doesn't matter if this number was written like this, like this, like this, or like this. All these decimals are exactly the same. The zeros hold no place value, so it doesn't matter. They all show 6/10. Let's go back and look at the scores of Sarah, Danny, Ross, Bethany, and Jacob. If we take a look and see who scored the highest and who scored the lowest, what were your results? If you put them in order like this, Bethany, 40.7 as the lowest, then Ross with 42.0 next, Sarah at 42 1/10 third, Danny with 42 5/10, and the highest score was Jacob with 46 1/10. That should be the correct order. You should also put these on the number line, which next would look like this. And we would have the 40.7 down here, the highest number, (46 1/10). Whoopsie. 46 1/10 at the end, because that's the largest number, and the rest of the numbers are all going to fall into place. 42 0/10, 42 1/10, 42 5/10, and I'll move this back. And that's where they would be placed on a number line. Although not exactly accurate because of spacing, but that's the order you should have them in your composition notebook when you place them on the number line. This is how we compare decimals. We can use a number line, or we can put them in order based on greater than or less than. If you have any questions, please talk to your teacher. We'll be using more decimals as we go on in our lessons.